beings, welcome back. So today I want to share something with you. My medicine in this sick world. It's a story I wrote and for my blog, and I want to just read it for you today. The doctor asked me, "So tell me, are you ill?" Me, of course I am ill, literally sick and tired of a world with lies, lots of noise and pollution, people being destructive, going against nature, greedy, ignorant, controlling. How can we not be sick about this? I remember the saying of a wise man, Krishnamurti: "It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." So here's a little story of how I finally could accept my high sensitivity and feeling depressed and depleted for many years and finding my medicine. I didn't have a job in a regular job market for almost 15 years. Because why would I consent to the lie of working my ass off every day for nonsensical reasons? They call beings like me high sensitive, as if it isn't normal. But in fact, high sensitivity is a sign of intelligence, of consciousness, of presence, of seeing things beyond what most cannot see in this world. Yes, I am not ashamed. My fabric is made very delicate and yet also very strong. It just took me a while to realize that being delicate doesn't mean weak. The fabric is actually very high quality and very strong. You just have to treat it in a certain way, a special procedure to keep it in that way. But most of us have no clue. It is the same when we look in nature. You have to know how to treat it. And every living form has a different procedures to be taken care of. Oh, but then they say you have to toughen up in this world. Oh yes, that's right. Just pretend you're made of something else and just do like the rest. And of course, that's why nature is being destroyed, right? Yeah, I get it. In the normal world of lies, they see me as a person that doesn't have enough spine, no tolerance, not capable of handling stress, etc. But wait a minute, everything is reversed in this world. I shouldn't be the one that should tolerate this way of living. Unless I want to destroy myself and deny the divine nature we are made of. I mean, who is really sick? This whole world is sick. Not because of COVID-19, but because we buy into all the lies that the so-called authorities are presenting to us. It's been obvious to me ever since I was born, and now in these last 2 years, it's been right in our face. It can get more obvious than this, and still the majority of people are completely blind, and worse, they don't even want to see it. And now I am the one being sick, a conspiracy theorist, or whatever you want to call, an extremist, or whatever else. Okay, fine, that's how I am seen by the majority of society. I couldn't care less of others, how others perceive me. It took me, of course, a while to get to that point also, because we all want a sense of belonging in this world. So going against the mainstream can give you the feeling of aloneness many times. The most important is that when I started to see myself in this mess, I could recognize my particular fabric, my blueprint, my particular soul signature. And so this was the moment in my life I couldn't deny any longer that I was not made to work a normal job from 9 to 5 in an office, in whatever closed buildings. I already get claustrophobic thinking about it. I need to be outside, breathe the fresh air. There is already so little oxygen in many places. Going against the mainstream means you choose to go with nature. You choose 100% for learning about nature's essence and your own particular soul essence. To stand strong in that takes a lot of courage, because so many people think that they know better for you. They say, "Oh, Dewi," they call me Dewi, "it can't be that bad. You're probably exaggerating. You have to just develop some masculine energy, some more spine. And perhaps you don't dedicate yourself enough, and that's why you feel this way. You look very healthy to me. Are you really that tired? You are perhaps living in an illusion. Or probably you have some childhood traumas, etc." Even the people sometimes very close to you still do not seem to really see you, because they look from their own glasses. Bottom line, only you know what is good for you. You have to at least find out. Dedicate yourself to know your fabric, to know your soul song. That doesn't mean I never listen to others people's advice, but actually most of the time the advice being shared is not relevant to me. Perhaps for them it is because they talk from their own life experience. Also, my advice is not applicable for everyone. Maybe some feel a resonance and others don't. Until now, my daughter is the one of a few people that can feel me for the most part. I'm so blessed to have such a wise daughter. She has seen me being very miserable, to the point I couldn't take care of her anymore. I was living in a city in Belgium, and of course my fabric was not taken care of properly, because at that time I didn't know how yet. I still thought I needed to do a normal job and get back in society, do what everybody else does. She saw a mother that was depleted, that was diagnosed with chronic fatigue, burnout and depression, until I started to ask myself some serious questions and dived into the knowledge of Dzogchen and non-duality teachings. I started to read many books and videos to educate myself. This was, by the way, after already doing yoga and meditation for a number of years. Actually, this process activated the sensitive antennas. So you are warned if you start to walk this path. I got more conscious about my body and soul, and thus they needed different care. I started now to listen more and more and trust my guidance more and take action towards it. That's where I radically decided to leave the city and live in the south of Europe, close to nature and water. And I could see, and my daughter too, how this changed everything. This was and is my medicine, the care that I need. I still needed to build more trust because, of course, society is pulling on you to come back in. Other friends, family that are saying you are a bad mother, you should stay with your daughter, etc. I was getting tested big time. How much could I trust myself? I was still at the beginning. So at that time, it was so helpful to have people actually reflect to me that it was a good decision. And especially my daughter, she said, "No, Mama, please don't come back here. You need to be in nature." She was happy to see me happy again. Still, I needed to refine my skills of taking care of myself and trust myself more. I still feel very tired from time to time, but it got better. The more I started to really listen and get rid of my doubts, any future thoughts of interpretations of life itself. But the best, the very best of all I've been seeing my soul reflected in an environment as if I was looking in the mirror. I found my home, my medicine, my soul song, all of it aligned. This was when I went to the island of Moorea in French Polynesia. I could never go back to anything else. It would be a deceit to myself, and I would fall sick very easily. My body will always let me know. It's my ally, my signpost on my path. So long story short, don't get yourself accustomed to a world so sick. Honor your fabric. Know what you are made of. Find your own way, your own soul song. Go with nature, not against it. You are being called back home. Are you listening? So this is what I wrote. And I wrote this as for inspiration for people that are very high sensitive, that are struggling with depression in this world, because I can fully understand why you're feeling the way you feel. And it is very normal, actually. So don't think you are the only one. We are many, more than we realize, and I know it sometimes feels like you're the only one. I know that feeling very well. That's why I felt I needed to write this down, because this is so important. I know that many people are struggling with that, and maybe even more so in the last couple of years. So I hope that this is a little bit of an inspiration for you. And if you are struggling in any way, please reach out to me. I'm here to help, to guide people to find their medicine and their particular fabric. It is so important that we know this, that we know how to take care of ourselves. And especially when your fabric is so delicate, they need special care. You need a typical environment that suits your needs. We cannot deny that. If you keep on denying that, you will keep on being sick. Your body will tell you. And I'm now back in Europe. I'm in the south of Europe now, a little bit better already than before. I landed in Paris, then went to Belgium, visiting family, my daughter in the Netherlands. Then I just felt my body was so stressed, getting tense. I already felt it building up, and I knew, but it was even worse now. I could feel it even better because I came from a place that was my home. And I could feel like exactly how I just needed to feel, like fully vibrant, fully in alignment with everything. And now I am preparing to go back home, but I need to do a few things for that in order for me to go back to this place that I know is my best medicine. So probably in a few months I will be back home, the island in French Polynesia. So also don't be ashamed about that, you know? Yes, maybe you need to be in an island somewhere in the South Pacific. That doesn't mean that you're spoiled. Oh yeah, of course. You cannot live in a city. No. It is so important we listen. So thank you all also for listening to me, and I hope that for some of you this resonates. And I will put in the description also my website and some information where you can find me. So